You're not late because you forget. You're late because your body freezes seconds before you leave. It's a silent panic no one sees, and you can't explain it either. Here's the hard truth. You're not afraid of being late. You're afraid of arriving, because arriving means facing something you've avoided for years. You look at the clock. There's still time, but your breathing changes, and you create an excuse just to avoid what you feel. Nobody knows this, but every delay hides an internal fight. One part of you wants to go, the other part wants to disappear. And the worst part is how guilty you always look. But deep down, you're just exhausted. Exhausted from being strong. Exhausted from pretending you're fine. Isaiah talks about perfect peace, but you live the opposite. A mind breaking into pieces at the worst moment. A soul that shuts down right when you need to show up. And you need to understand why before it destroys something important. You think being late is just a habit, but it's not. It's an old emotional pattern, a reflex your body uses to protect you. Jung said, "The body speaks what the mind suppresses, and you've been suppressing a lot. You're not lost in time. You're lost in yourself. Your emotions get so heavy that they disconnect you. Your mind leaves the present to avoid discomfort. It's an involuntary escape, a survival mechanism. You don't procrastinate because you're lazy. You procrastinate because you're overwhelmed. Your brain goes into alert when you have to show up. Arriving on time means being visible, and being visible activates old memories, memories you never faced. This has a name, subtle dissociation, a small shutdown disguised as distraction. Pierre Janet called it psychophysiological escape. Jung described it as fractures of the self. You only feel the emptiness, but the emptiness is an alarm. That feeling of freezing out of nowhere, it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from moments when you weren't allowed to fail, when being late meant chaos, yelling, or criticism. Your system learned to react like this, and now you repeat it without noticing. Being late became your way of postponing pressure, postponing people's eyes on you, postponing expectations, postponing the fear of disappointing someone. You're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the feeling, and there's something deeper. You don't trust your own rhythm. You don't trust you'll be enough. You don't trust you can simply arrive. Jung said, "The shadow holds everything we refuse to accept, and your shadow still tells you you're not capable. You always think you'll mess up, think you'll bother someone, think you're not important enough, think your presence doesn't matter. So you show up late to minimize your impact, to take up less space. But here's the paradox. You're late to avoid anxiety, and being late creates even more anxiety. You avoid the pain, only to meet it again later. It's exhausting, an emotional maze. But here's what no one ever told you, and this might set you free. Being late isn't your flaw. It's your wound, asking to be heard. It's your mind, pointing to a limit, and you finally need to listen. You think being late protects you, but that's the deepest lie. You think arriving later keeps you from drawing attention, but it makes you stand out even more. You try to avoid discomfort, but you create an even bigger one. The illusion starts early. Your mind tells you that taking longer gives you space to breathe, that going slowly is safer, that this is how you control fear. But what truly controls you is fear, and fear lies well. You believe you only function under pressure, that you only act when pushed to the edge, that you only move when there's no escape. It feels logical, but it's destructive and quiet. You think being late reduces the chance of being judged, but it increases the chance of being misunderstood. You believe it helps you avoid conflict, but it creates micro-conflicts every day. You think you're escaping judgment, but you become the target of it. Here's the strongest illusion. You think you're just running late, but you're trying to control feelings you never learned to feel. Fear, exposure, expectation. This isn't about time. It's about identity. Another illusion, believing it'll change someday on its own, that you just need willpower. But this isn't a willpower issue. It's a consciousness issue. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you'll call it fate." The illusion also tells you lateness is harmless, but it has already cost you opportunities. It cost you relationships. It cost you credibility. It cost you peace, and you pretend not to notice. You try to justify it. "I just got a little lost. I was only 10 minutes late. I just needed time." But you know it's not just that. It's something darker. The cruelest part of the illusion is this. It convinces you you'll always have another chance, that you can always fix it, always explain it, always recover it, until one day you can't, and there's a reason it hurts. The illusion kept you alive for a long time, but now it holds you back, and you need to see it clearly, because what comes next changes everything. If this story is opening something inside you, click the button right now and subscribe. Understanding your mind is just the first step. The next one is not walking through this alone. Here, every video explains what you feel but never had words for, and reminds you that God isn't accusing you. He's calling you back to Him. Subscribe so you don't miss what could change your entire healing journey. You've spent your whole life thinking your lateness was a flaw, but God always saw something deeper beneath it. He never looked at the clock. He looked at the weight in your chest, the weight no one else notices, but He always did. The spiritual truth is simple and piercing. You're not behind in life. You're wounded, and God doesn't judge wounds. He heals them, and healing begins with awareness. Isaiah said, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast." But how can your mind stay steady when it breaks into pieces? When you shut down without understanding why? When you disappear from yourself? God knew this mechanism before you ever named it, and He never abandoned you inside it. There's a reason this verse hits you, because you've never known perfect peace. You've known attempts. You've known exhaustion. You've known pressure and fear, but peace, not fully. Here's the revelation that hurts and frees you. Your lateness isn't rebellion. It's a sign of a tired soul, a soul that lost its sense of presence, a soul that never learned to feel without punishing itself. And God wants to restore that presence. You've tried to adjust to the world, tried to discipline yourself, tried to force yourself, and every failed attempt made you feel worse. But God doesn't work through force. He works through truth. And the truth is that you were always fast on the outside and broken on the inside. God sees this disconnect, sees the gap between you and yourself, and He does not accuse you. What God wants isn't that you stop being late. He wants you to return to yourself, return whole, return conscious, return present, return alive. Because when the soul finds peace, the body finds rhythm. When the mind rests, minutes stop chasing you. When the spirit aligns, time aligns too. And that's what God wants to rebuild in you, to reconnect your pieces, to gather what fear scattered. You think you're late, but God knows you're returning. Returning to yourself, returning to clarity, returning to presence, and that changes everything. If this revelation aligns something inside you, subscribe to the channel and comment, "I want to return to myself." It's not just a gesture, it's a commitment to your own healing. Now that you understand the root, you need to do something almost no one does. Pause before acting. It sounds simple, but it isn't. Your mind runs on the autopilot of avoidance, and you never notice the exact moment you disconnect. Today, you will. First practical step, name the shutdown. When you feel your body freeze, say mentally, "I'm disconnecting." It's quick, it's discreet, and it breaks the automatic cycle. Jung said, "What is named stops ruling you." You've never done this because you always tried to force yourself out. But force doesn't heal disconnection. Awareness does, and naming brings you back to your body, back to the present, back to your internal command. Second part of this practice, return to your body in 10 seconds. It's simple and powerful. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Release the air slowly. Relax your jaw and pull your shoulders back. This sequence does something invisible for you. It pulls your mind away from a catastrophic future. It pulls you out of the fear of being judged. It pulls you away from the "I'm going to freeze again" spiral. And it brings you to the only safe place. Now, here, your soul breathes. You might think this is too small to work, but it isn't. Your dissociation is quiet, and the healing will be too. It starts in small seconds and changes entire behaviors. This practice restores something essential: presence. You return to yourself, return to the body you abandoned so many times, return to the awareness you lost in fear, return to the rhythm God wants to rebuild. And this return changes your relationship with time, because lateness doesn't start at the door. It starts minutes before. It starts in the tight throat, in the held breath, in the invisible thought you don't notice, and now you will. The 10-second practice can save your day. It can save important commitments, save relationships, save opportunities, and most importantly, save you from yourself. You're not trying to be on time. You're trying to be whole. Punctuality is a consequence. Integration is the cause. Awareness is the path. And God supports you through it. Do this practice every time you freeze. 10 seconds, just that, and you'll feel something shift, slowly at first, then deeply. Now take a breath and come back here with me. If you drifted for even a second, pay attention now, because this is the most important part of the entire process. What I'm about to tell you won't feel comfortable, but it's exactly what will flip the switch inside you. Now you need a second strategy, breaking the ritual of lateness before it begins. Because lateness doesn't start on the clock. It starts in your emotional routine, in small decisions that look harmless. In those minutes, you just needed to breathe. That become a spiral. The name of this strategy is simple: pre-presence. It means being present before the moment pulls you away, preparing your mind before it disconnects, giving your body a clear command, not waiting for the shutdown. You act before the fall. Here's how it works. Choose one commitment of the day. 5 minutes before, stop everything. Sit in silence. Place one hand on your chest and say mentally, I choose to arrive whole. This creates an internal pact, a pact between you and your fragmented self, between who you are and who you want to be, between your soul and your rhythm. This pact disarms fear, because fear loses its strength when you decide. And there's more. Your body recognizes truth before it recognizes force. When you affirm presence, it obeys you. When you just try to go, it freezes. You need to declare direction. Declare with intention, not pressure. After this pact comes the second step, a short, practical visualization. See the scene of you arriving at the place. See yourself entering calmly. See yourself present. See yourself aware. This trains your nervous system. Your brain can't tell imagined rehearsal from real rehearsal. That's why this technique is powerful. You train your body not to freeze. Train your soul not to run. Train your mind not to disappear. It's emotional self-regulation. And here's the deeper truth. When you rehearse presence, you disarm the shadow. Jung said, the shadow loses power when it is exposed to light. That's exactly what you're doing. Lighting up the point where you always fall and rewriting the scene before it happens. This technique is silent. No one sees it. No one notices, but you feel it. Because it returns something you lost for years, authority over yourself. And the more you do it, the more you return. Return to your body. Return to your purpose. Return to your rhythm. Return to your path. Return to God. In the end, being on time is just a symptom. What really matters is arriving in yourself. And this step brings you closer to that. One day at a time. One decision at a time. One presence at a time. You made it this far because you finally understood something. You were never the one who's always late. You were the one carrying too much weight. Weight no one saw. Weight no one asked about. Weight no one helped you hold. And now everything starts to make sense. The shutdown wasn't weakness. It was protection. The lateness wasn't irresponsibility. It was survival. You were just trying to breathe. But now you know something new. You know you can interrupt the cycle. You can return to your body. You can return to the present. You can return to your rhythm. You can return to yourself. And this changes everything, because it changes you. It changes how you see yourself, how you act, how you treat yourself, how you show up, how you choose you. God never condemned you for this. He never called you slow, careless, or weak. He knew exactly where the rupture was, where your soul disconnected, where your pieces split apart, and he always wanted to bring them back together. Healing began the moment you looked inward, when you named what once ruled you, when you recognized the exact moment of escape, when you chose to be whole, when you took steps no one sees, but God sees, and there is power in that, because every bit of presence rebuilds your world. Every conscious breath gives you strength. Every choice to return to yourself restores your identity. Every time you arrive whole, you defeat your shadow and open a new path. Now look at who you're becoming. More aware, more grounded, more present, more aligned, more alive. You were emotionally 7 years old when all this began, but now you have maturity, awareness, a voice, direction, and God guiding your process. What once was lateness is now return. Return to what matters. Return to your center. Return to your own life. You're not late. You're awakening. Awakening to yourself. Awakening to God. Awakening to a new story. And it starts now. If this message made sense to you, subscribe to our channel. Here, every story shows you why you hurt and what God is teaching you through it. Psychology, to understand yourself. Spirituality, to understand the reason behind it all. And for you who made it to the end of this video, comment, "I am awakening." There is something spiritual happening when you declare that.